Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moments. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star episode number 222 based on novel. So let's start. Within the control room, Luo Feng and Dylan both gazed at the floating group of palaces in space. Luo Feng, we've arrived at the coordinates, universe travel is now complete. We are very close to the palace from here, it'll only take 25 minutes to get there. Barbata's voice resounded within the control room. After 1 year and 2 months, we've finally arrived. It sure wasn't easy coming here. Luo Feng smiled. Let's go and meet Chen Qiong. Yes. The Yunmo planet ship accelerated again and became a blur as it flew towards the palace. The palaces were well organized with outer walls, and within the walls were tens of palaces, all at different heights. The entire area took up an area of over 100,000 kilometers, and outside of these palaces were black armored guards patrolling. The security system had long discovered Luo Feng's group. Stop! A warning signal was sent to the Yunmo planet ship. I am Luo Feng here to see Longju Emperor. The ship returned a message. After a while, with the Yunmo planet ship stopped outside the walls, Luo Feng kept the ship as the two of them stood in space looking at the vast palaces. The palaces had an energy barrier that flashed occasionally and covered the palaces completely. With Luo Feng's vision, he could instantly tell that it was of a higher grade than the Yunmo planet ships. The moment he tried to barge in, it would trigger the defense system's attack. Rumble. The main entrance opened. The silver-robed man brought with him a large group of black armored guards. Seeing Luo Feng and Dylan, he smiled. Luo Feng, the master is already waiting for you, please follow me. Luo Feng and Dylan followed him and the group, entering the palace. Rumble, the entrance closed behind them. The tallest and most majestic palace of the group, at the entrance stood a large group of white-robed guards, they were all Sector Lord Pinnacle level. Luo Feng and Dylan followed the silver-robed man into the palace and along the pathways, quickly reaching a quiet slanted hall. Ha ha Luo Feng, this is the real first time we are meeting. The dark red-skinned and red-eyed Longju Emperor Chen Qiong laughed loudly. Sit, both of you. Thank you Longju Emperor. Luo Feng said respectfully, following which Dylan and him sat down. The last time we met was in the virtual universe. Since the entire network was under the virtual universe company's surveillance, many things couldn't be said fully. Longju Emperor laughed. You said back then you wanted to buy 10 million Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses. I wasn't clear if you had checked up in secret before. In truth, this number is indeed the upper limit of what I can supply to you alone. Luo Feng was stunned. The 9 great rubbish starfields, any one starfield is more wealthy than an entire universe country. Longju Emperor emphasized. Hence, there are a total of 5 people at the top of management in Wulong Starfield. They are separate from the virtual universe company, Huge Axe Dojo, Universe First Bank, the 5 Leviathans. As long as the scale of a sale doesn't exceed 10 million units, we can all individually act. However, the moment it exceeds that amount, all 5 have to audit it. Longju Emperor smiled. If anyone has too much power, it could result in large amount of resources being lost. Luo Feng nodded. And here, every 100,000 Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses are priced at 10,000 mixed elements. You want to buy 10 million, hence that would be 1 million mixed elements. He looked at Luo Feng. Considering it is right at my limit, looks like there's someone who told you about this. This is simply too much of a coincidence. Luo Feng was stunned. I really wasn't informed of this. Longju Emperor glanced at Luo Feng without asking any more. He squinted his eyes, his red eyes that made people tremble glanced at Luo Feng. The 10 million Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses are priced at 1 million mixed elements. Wait a while I go pay. Can there be any discounts? Luo Feng asked. No. Longju Emperor shook his head. This is the fixed price set by the 5 Leviathans. 100,000 Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses or 1 billion Domain Lord Pinnacle bug corpses, they are all sold for 10,000 mixed elements. There's no room for any discounts. Luo Feng frowned. He had looked for Longju Emperor in the hopes of a discount, however it seemed like that was impossible. Whether it's me or the other 4 managers. Our deals, the prices are all fixed, we cannot mess with it. He noticed Luo Feng's expression, he couldn't help but burst out laughing. Little punk, looks like you are nervous. Don't worry, hold it in. There's bound to be loopholes in any law. He rubbed his chin looking at Luo Feng. This Bug Clan corpse deal naturally has its loophole. You were introduced by Purple Lightning Official, and you are the disciple of True Yang Emperor of whom I respect. Let me help you out. Luo Feng listened intently. Firstly, the amount of money cannot be any less. He smiled. However, you should know that the Bug Clan has many divisions and types. The top-level bugs compared to the low-level bugs, all are Sector Lord Pinnacle bugs, however their price may vary by 10 times. Luo Feng's eyes gleamed. Right. A Sector Lord Pinnacle Shadow Spear bug body compared to a Hunting Mantis body, how could the price be the same? The difference was about 5 times. Every 100,000 corpses are sold as 1 unit. Longju Emperor smiled. However, on Wulong Starfield, there are countless corpses stored and split into countless units. Within some units, there are more high-level corpses while others have more low-level corpses. Among all the Sector Lord Pinnacle corpses, different units will have differences in prices of 2 to 3 times. The extreme ones can reach up to 4 or 5 times. Luo Feng nodded. Right. 10 million Shadow Spear corpses compared to 10 million Hunting Mantis corpses, the difference was 5 times. 5 times, what was that? 1 million mixed elements, it could buy bug corpses worth 5 million mixed elements. The profit in this was shocking. In one deal alone, one could earn 4 million mixed elements in profits. How terrifying was this? Of course, in reality, it was hard to find such shocking differences in prices of units. Normally the difference was only about 2 or 3 times. Here's 200 numbers. Chen Qiong flipped his hand and threw out 200 metal cards. On them were complex numbers. This is? Luo Feng raised his hand and used his spirit energy to grab them. Every metal card was about the size of his palm. But the 200 of them combined reached almost his height. The numbers on each of them were very complex. For example, one of them was B2461, 95,453, 13,402, 96,289, 71833. Every number represents a goods unit. Chen Qiong laughed. With one metal card you'll be able to buy 1 unit of Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses. Every unit has 100,000 corpses within 200 units. Isn't that 20 million? Luo Feng was stunned. These 200 units are all not bad. They all exceed their value, and some even had high-level bugs. Chen Qiong laughed. I'm giving you 200 metal cards for you to go and choose from. Go pick the best 100 units. When you are done picking, you can return me the remaining metal cards. Understood. Luo Feng smiled and nodded. He felt gratitude within. This Chen Qiong didn't source for any benefits or hint at any. Luo Feng didn't know, to such a level of being like Chen Qiong, what benefit could Luo Feng give him? He'd rather do him a favor. And at times these favors were worth more than getting any benefits and will be more useful in the future. To be in such a lucrative post, other than background, one had to have integrity. Oh, this is a medium-sized world ring. Chen Qiong tossed out a silver ring. There's an internal world within that has an area of 100,000 kilometers. Since you've purchased 1 million mixed elements worth of items, you get the chance to go to Rubbish Mountain to take some treasures. Take treasures? Luo Feng was stunned. Chen Qiong nodded. The wars in the outer regions have caused countless remains to be sent here. All sorts of remains, some worth anything, have already been divided and sold by themselves. There are others that are low in worth that would all be gathered in different places, floating in space. That's Rubbish Mountain. Those that come here to buy would all get a world ring and choose some items within Rubbish Mountain to place in them. Until the ring is full, that would be the end of the trip. Luo Feng nodded. With an area of 100,000 kilometers, one could put hundreds to even 1,000 Earths in it. How huge was this? One could easily see the wealth of the business of these 9 great rubbish starfields. Rubbish Mountain is the accumulation of trillions of years. Among these countless rubbish mountains, who knows how many things have been stored there? There may be some treasures. Chen Qiong said, you've been given the world ring and it's a medium-sized one. It can store quite a bit. Go pick your items well, you may even get some treasures. Luo Feng laughed. Go, head over to the financial affairs side to pay. After that, you can enter Wulong Starfield. Within the super huge treasure trove, you can slowly pick your bug corpse units and treasures. Chen Qiong laughed and stood up. 200 metal cards and the silver space ring, they were both tokens that represented Luo Feng could enter Wulong Starfield and take the items. Luo Feng, Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses 100 units. Deal success. Lord, 1 million mixed elements have already been transferred. A beautiful gold long-haired lady Undying said respectfully. Chen Qiu nodded, turning to look at Luo Feng and Dylan. Luo Feng, let's go, I'll send you to within Wulong Starfield. After a while. Humanity's territory, there's been an account transfer in one of the 9 great rubbish starfields, Wulong Starfield. It has number 3 Luo Feng's name and he just spent 1 million mixed elements acquiring the chance to enter Wulong Starfield and bought 100 units of Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses. He will most probably be spending the next 10 to 30 days in Wulong Starfield. A report that had been encoded hundreds of times within the virtual universe, in a very simply mail format, had been sent to one of the organization's mail reception points. High above in the vast endless god country, within a majestic palace. A green-skinned man with a single black horn swiftly walked within the sparkling hallways, his footsteps resounding within, his body became a blur and in a few seconds, he had reached a few hundred kilometers away, before a gold door that gave off an extreme cold chill. Rumble, the green-skinned man pushed open the door, it rumbled as it opened. He stepped into the hall. It was about 100 kilometers in area. Within the vast area, other than the green-skinned man, there was only one other person, a silhouette completely covered in a gold robe, sitting alone cross-legged. The gold-robed man looked up, his piercing gaze falling on the green-skinned man. Master! The green-skinned man immediately knelt down. Speak! The gold-robed man said indifferently. According to sources, number 3's name has appeared in a transaction in Wulong Starfield, one of humanity's 9 great rubbish starfields. He said with utmost respect. Number 3? The gold-robed man said softly, Luo Feng, yes master. According to the report, number 3 just spent 1 million mixed elements purchasing 100 units of Sector Lord Pinnacle bug corpses. And according to the predictions, he should be heading to enter Wulong Starfield to choose the Sector Lord corpses for the next 10 to 30 days, he'll be in Wulong Starfield. The green-skinned man said respectfully. Master. The regions with endless remains in that area forbid Undyings from entering. Meaning, number 3 cannot bring his Undying guard Dylan with him. He can only go in with the guides. The green-skinned man looked up, his eyes gleaming. Master, this is a good chance for us. Laying hidden within the human territories, one of the most important missions of the organization was to kill all absolute geniuses that would pose a threat. The moment they were deemed a threat, if they didn't take the chance when these geniuses weren't powerful yet, the moment they became Undying, many would immediately become officials, and the absolute geniuses would very quickly reach Emperor level. Then in the outer region wars, these Emperor-level Undyings would give them terrifying losses. And according to their threat levels, they naturally had rankings. This ranking included all the 5 Leviathans and their geniuses, those that haven't reached the Undying level. They were ranked according to their threat levels, as Sector Lords have the fastest origin law comprehension and improvement speeds, hence the Sector Lord geniuses tend to be ranked the highest. However, Luo Feng's rank was still number 3. Obviously among the Bug Clan organization hidden within humanity, they deemed Luo Feng's threat level to be even bigger than many Sector Lord geniuses. Or as they have trained for very long, their strengths far exceed Luo Feng's. However, with Luo Feng's display of strength in the Gold Horn race Lao's world, his improvement was simply too shocking. Like an absolute genius of a trillion eras, his threat ranking naturally got higher. Like the most exceptional geniuses of humanity's history, like Kudai etc., they would probably long have been number 1 even at universe level. Number 3 is entering Wulong Starfield. The gold-robed man ordered, send the order, immediately order Agent 6 who's hidden in there to kill no. 3, yes. The green-skinned man said respectfully. Number 3 represented his threat ranking, and this ranking meant that the Bug Clan was willing to pay a huge price to kill him. The higher the ranking, the more they were willing to pay. And to hide pawns within Wulong Starfield was incredibly difficult, every one of them was extremely valuable. Agent 6 was already the top assassin of their pawns hidden in Wulong Starfield. Wulong Starfield. An asteroid was floating in space without moving, even though it seemed like one, its interior had long been modified into an observation point. Within the asteroid, there's a domain lord level life or death battle in the huge Axe Dojo. Brothers, let's all enter the virtual universe, hurry, any delay and the match will be over. A tall and sturdy man covered in armor shouted excitedly. The days spent in this observation point were dull. Watching life or death battles, gambling, these were their recreations. Here it is. Haha, my luck's been good recently, I've won the past 3 times, I'll definitely win this time as well. The members all cheered within, all with a thread of consciousness in the virtual universe network. As for the observation mission, actually with Wulong Starfield's extremely perfect security and surveillance system, their jobs as observation members were simply to check if there were any damages in the system, etc. After all, the AI system had differences from humans. Within a resting quarter of the asteroid, this room was completely made of alloys. A skinny man with green eyes lay in his bed, his head covered in a layer of black scales. He suddenly got up, his green eyes staring at the alloy walls. The mission has come. Laying hidden for 10,000 years, 100,000 years, waiting for the one chance to make a move. The moment he did, whether it was a success or failure, it was hard to survive. Even if he successfully killed Luo Feng, he would be trapped and killed by the powerful human forces within Wulong Starfield. At this time, Luo Feng and Dylan, along with Longju Emperor, was sitting in a universe ship and traveling in the dark universe. We are about to enter the outback region of Wulong Starfield. Longju Emperor smiled. The starfield is after all too big. If we fly slowly in this ship, even after flying for 100,000 years, we'd still only have flown a small portion of it. A normal galaxy had a diameter of about 100,000 light years. And a starfield normally had 10,000 galaxies, its diameter being a few million light years, was very normal. Laos world had a diameter of only 2.1 light years. Compared to a huge starfield, it was simply a dot. One could only imagine the endless amount of rubbish, remains, etc. in Wulong Starfield. It could easily fill the entire Laos world. Hence we have to universe travel and head to another spot. Longju Emperor emphasized, let me warn you, there are a few fixed spots within Wulong Starfield for universe travel. The other regions are filled with goods, remains. The moment a ship appears, it would immediately be attacked. Even an Emperor-level Undying wouldn't be able to escape. Luo Feng was shocked. That powerful? The 9 great rubbish starfields are true treasure troves. Longju Emperor smiled indifferently. The other 4 and I aren't the highest level. But we are the highest level in charge of the deals. In the entire Wulong Starfield, there are others in charge of supervision and killing. These are the knights stationed here. There's no way around it. Any one of the 9 great rubbish starfields, if it were to be robbed, we could easily lose hundreds of millions of mixed elements in just one heist. Hence we have to have powerful forces stationed here. He smiled. The true power of the Wulong Starfield, even I don't know. I'm only in charge of the deals. Luo Feng nodded. After flying for over 2 hours, the ship went through universe travel and returned to the actual universe. A formless signal scanned past. Rumble, in the distant floating space, there was a palace with a diameter of about 10,000 kilometers. Many silhouettes flew out from there. The ship stopped and the cabin door opened. Longju Emperor, Luo Feng, and Dylan flew out. Longju Emperor. The group of silhouettes bowed respectfully. He nodded. This is Luo Feng. In a while he will go in to choose his goods. Send 2 guides with him. Longju Emperor ordered. The group complied. Yes, Luo Feng and Dylan turned to look and were immediately shocked. My God! With a glance, it was an endless space of countless goods and remains that filled the area, extremely vast. I've long imagined this, however, seeing the entire space filled with goods, it's truly shocking. Luo Feng looked up at the endless goods. Without any gravity in space and no deliberate division, it resulted in, no matter where he looked, he would see, only little portions were empty. However, other than these spots for light-speed universe travel, the other regions were completely filled. Don't be surprised. Longju Emperor floating beside him turned and saw Luo Feng, smiling. The race wars, what are they? A few huge pinnacle races at war with each other, along with the other races' alliance wars. These are wars that cover a vast area. The amount of debris and remains from these are naturally shocking. Even the god countries etc. are far from being enough to store all this rubbish, hence the starfields were specially used to store them. Wulong Starfield is but one of them. Luo Feng nodded. Also, as there are countless valuable goods within, hence Undyings are forbidden from going in to pick the goods. He smiled, as Undyings can steal large amount of goods, and teleport them through their god country. Hence, no Undying is allowed in to pick goods. Luo Feng realized. Right, if an Undying stole lots of goods within and teleported it away via his god country, the losses from just one time could reach hundreds of millions of mixed elements. And this level of wealth, even official level Undyings didn't have such wealth. Undings would definitely take this risk. Even if one isn't an Undying. Longju Emperor exclaimed, sector lords and domain lords etc. They have to have extremely high authority granted to them, normal sector lords and domain lords cannot go in either. Luo Feng, you are a primal region member, you have high authority, hence you can enter. The normal sector lords, they may be controlled by others and may hide undyings within their internal worlds, or having a world ring, bringing an undying along. Longju Emperor, aren't you worried I'm carrying an undying in my world ring? Luo Feng smiled. You, with such high authority as a primal region member, the moment you steal, you'll be hunted down by the entire humanity. You will never be able to return. Can you bear to do so? Longju Emperor looked at Luo Feng. If my soul is being controlled? Luo Feng asked. Soul control on such a high-level genius, those organizations wouldn't be so stupid as to waste such a valuable spy to steal some goods. Maybe to some, these goods are very valuable, however to an entire race, this is nothing. Longju Emperor shook his head. At this time, two white-robed silhouettes flew over from the distance. Luo Feng, these are your two guides. He pointed at the white-robed men, follow them and also tell them you metal card numbers, they will guide you to the right spots with the bug corpses. As for Dylan, he'll have to stay here. This is the rule, no undyings are allowed within the goods storage regions, even I cannot go against it. Luo Feng nodded, turning to Dylan beside, Dylan, you can stay here and train for a while. Your Majesty must be careful alone. Dylan warned. Over 200 years, Dylan had always stuck right beside him, hardly ever leaving his side. Ha ha, there's nothing to worry about. Longju Emperor laughed loudly. This is Wulong Starfield, a true important land. What danger could there possibly be? And there are many powerful beings stationed here. The moment there's any incident, the security system will immediately discover it and the knights, they can instantly arrive at any spot in Wulong Starfield. Dylan, you heard it. Luo Feng smiled at him. Longju Emperor, then I'll enter. Luo Feng said. Ha ha, go on. But, don't forget to go to the many rubbish mountains to look for treasures, you might discover something. Over 3,000 eras ago here, there was an internal member who discovered an ancient broken shard that was worth over 100 million mixed elements. He immediately struck it rich. Longju Emperor exclaimed. Even though we are extremely careful in our separation of remains, the amount of the goods are simply too huge. Even a robot-type human would occasionally make mistakes. Sometimes people simply get lucky and find treasures. How many have actually got items worth over 100 million mixed elements? Luo Feng asked. In the recent 10,000 eras, only 2. He replied. Luo Feng shook his head. The 9 great rubbish starfields would attract the highest echelon of the entire humanity. After which, they sent their own sector lords to enter and pick the items. The number of deals per day was very high. Every time there was a deal, according to the size of it, they would also give a world ring for them to head to Rubbish Mountain. Yet in the recent 100 million years, only 2 had gotten true treasures. The probability was simply too low. Finding treasures is simply that, finding. However, it's simply a gift from our end. To actually get treasures will depend on your luck and nothing more. Longju mocked. Luo Feng laughed. After which he bid goodbye to Longju Emperor and Dylan and followed the 2 white-robed men. 2 guides, let head out. The 2 replied respectfully, yes Lord Luo Feng. With a wave, a 80-diameter disc-shaped universe ship appeared. Simultaneously, they said respectfully, Lord Luo Feng, traveling within Wulong Starfield requires our internal ship, other ships flying within without authority would be attacked, please enter. Luo Feng and the 2 white-robed guides entered. After which, the ship accelerated and reached light speed, vanishing into the distant space. Longju Emperor and Dylan watched the ship go. Dylan, how long do you think Luo Feng will take to return? Longju smiled, 10 days to half a month. Dylan said. I'm guessing at least half a year. Longju laughed loudly. After that, with the group that welcomed them, they traveled through 100,000 kilometers of space into the distant palace. The disc-shaped ship traveled in the dark universe for a while before traveling back to the actual universe. Lord Luo Feng, even though we only flew for a while in the dark universe, if we slowly flew in the actual universe to where the Sector Lord bug corpses were, it would take at least 100 years. The silver disc-shaped ship stopped in space. The cabin door opened and the 3 of them flew out. One of the guides continued. I know. For 1 light year in the actual universe, it would only take 3 light seconds in the dark universe. Luo Feng said, gazing about. My god. The surrounding light seconds of space was empty any further, and it was an endless sea of bug corpses. Every purchase of bug corpses start here. The taller white-robed man smiled. Your Majesty, please tell me your metal card numbers. With a flip of his hand, 200 metal cards appeared in the air, scaring the two white-robed men. They carefully examined the cards. B2461, 95,453, 13,402, 96,289, 71,859, B2446, 56,453, 13,202, 96,226, 43,193. The numbers were complex. After reading the numbers completely, the two white-robed men looked down at their quantum computer and swiftly verified, quickly looking back up respectfully at Luo Feng. Lord Luo Feng, these 200 metal cards represent 200 units of bug corpses that aren't too far away. However, there's some distance in between each of them. Calculating the entire trip if we fly together, with a speed of 100,000 kilometers per second, the round trip will take about 13 days. The taller white-robed man smiled. This is considered a shorter distance already. Luo Feng muttered within. With Wulong starfields millions of light years in diameter, simply flying for a few days, and being able to verify all the goods, this was indeed very short. Let's go. Luo Feng ordered. Yes. The two white-robed guides immediately released their world energies to wrap about Luo Feng, becoming beams of lights as they swiftly flew. Sector Lord level warriors could easily maintain close to light speed during flight. Undyings could completely use only their physical bodies to reach light speed and enter the dark universe and back. So many. Luo Feng looked about. The endless blur of goods filled the entire space. With only several pathways in between, Luo Feng and the other two followed a 100 kilometers wide pathway and flew. Endless bug corpses, almost all of them are broken and damaged. As Luo Feng swiftly flew within the pathway, he used his spirit energy to sweep the surrounding close-by corpses. These are Domain Lord level corpses. Longju Emperor was right, within one unit there are all sorts of levels of corpses, some high-level bugs and others lower levels. Indeed, the prices all differ. After flying for 8 days, Luo Feng and the other two finally reached the region with the Sector Lord pinnacle bug corpses. Within an observation point in Wulong Starfield, a skinny man with a head full of black scales sat in his bed. He looked up at the screen before him that displayed detailed maps of the security system of the entire Wulong Starfield. The entire area was under surveillance, with blurs of dots appearing in different regions of the map. As long as one was within the good storage region of Wulong Starfield, no one could escape its surveillance. B24 region, enlarge. The skinny man's green gaze carefully examined the map as he ordered his quantum computer, lock in on the three silhouettes. 3 moving dots that appeared in the region of B24 of the surveillance map was enlarged. As for these 3 dots, 2 of them were white, while the other was red. Buying bug corpses, number 3 Luo Feng? The skinny man stared hard at the screen. As a member of the observation team within Wulong Starfield, every member could view the maps. The moment there was a problem in any part of the entire area, these members would immediately discover it and go fix the problem or get a new part, etc. After all, surveillance over a star field with a diameter of millions of light years, how difficult was that? It was easy for problems to arise considering how much machinery was involved. Number 3 has already entered the bug corpses region for 2 days. It's time to make a move. The skinny man got up and immediately the projected screen vanished too. Hua. The alloy door opened and he walked out. Casey. A tall and sturdy ape-man walking in the pathway outside laughed loudly. Why are you heading out? I'm too bored. I still have 3 chances of searching for treasures. Hence, I'm prepared to head out now. Hey, you want to go as well? The skinny man smiled. The ape-man seemed somewhat envious. The moment the chances were given, I used them all. I really envy you. You still have 3 chances. Ha ha, then I'll be going. Wish me luck in finding treasures. The skinny man laughed and headed out. Keep dreaming. The ape-man shook his head. Rumble, the seemingly normal asteroid from outside opened up and the skinny man's green eyes gazed about. With just a wave, a silver disc-shaped ship appeared. He entered it and swiftly began universe travel. After a short period of time, outside the palace, floating in space, ripples appeared and a silver disc-shaped ship appeared. After keeping the ship, the skinny Agent 6 headed straight towards the sides of the palace, to the slanted hall. His arrival didn't arouse any of the guards' suspicion. "Casey, why have you come? I'm bored. I'm prepared to go try my luck at the rubbish mountain." Agent 6 casually spoke with the guards he knew well, after which he entered the hall. Within, there were many members sitting there. "I'm here to get a world ring. I still have 3 chances to search for treasures." The skinny man sat in a chair and told a white-robed man, "I've already requested this through the virtual universe earlier. It's Casey." "Ha ha, hold on." The white-robed man sent a thread of consciousness into the virtual universe and began to work. "All right, this is a small world ring. Remember, you have to return the ring once your chance is over. Place whatever treasure you've found in your own internal world." The man said. "Relax, you are so naggy, would I not know?" Casey smiled. "Good luck then." The white-robed man threw a black world ring out and Casey grabbed it, after which he casually headed out. Halfway through he turned. "I remember the max amount of time I'm given is 1 year, right, 1 year." The white man said indifferently. "Ha ha, this 1 year will be relaxing." Casey smirked satisfied. Searching for treasures within the 9 great rubbish starfields had already become a tradition. As there were indeed truly lucky people in history, getting some shocking heavenly treasures. And the rubbish mountains within the rubbish starfields, some have been there for trillions of years. Hence, a few treasures may have been overlooked. Therefore, in addition to that, the members within the great rubbish starfields have all made requests, and the higher levels all knew that these rubbish mountains were simply all about luck. There were truly very few treasures within. Plus, the lower level members' lives were simply too dull. Hence, there was an incentive such that every 10,000 years, there would one chance to use a small world ring to search for treasures. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.